Greetings there. Judas must be in heaven, contrary to what Christendom and Islam believe. So, if heaven is a physical place where souls go to from here, then Judas should be there, without a doubt, without which God becomes some kind of very cruel being that predestines souls for hell even before they are born. So that's a reflection for this moment. But first, if you are here for the first time, we'll be glad you joined the family. Subscribe to the page and also hit the notification bell such that if there's anything new, you'll be informed in real time. So let's go deep. Christians and Muslims hold that Judas should obviously have been the first candidate for hellfire, where, according to Christendom and Islam, is having a very, very, very sad time and cruel time. They're burning since then until present day. Does that really make sense? Now, Christianity hangs on one verse in particular, no, several verses, one of which is Matthew 26, verse 24. I think I'm quoting correctly. It should be Matthew 26, verse 24, in which Jesus the Christ is mentioned saying that the Son of Man will go by the way that was prophesied of him to go, the crucifixion. He will go by that way. He will be crucified. It was a prophecy. It has to be fulfilled. But woe betide the man that will betray him. It was better he was not born. That's Jesus talking. Further in the Gospel of St. John, chapter 17, Jesus is praying to God. And somewhere along the prayer, that should be in verses 12 of that chapter, I guess, he says that he preserved all those the Father gave him, his disciples, except the one that was doomed to be lost from the outset. So how can someone be doomed to be lost from the beginning? How can someone be programmed for hell even before he is born? Now, the Son of Man rebukes Peter in Matthew chapter 16. He tells the disciples that he has to die, tells them how he got to die. He has to suffer and die. And Peter stops him and says, no, that cannot happen. He rebukes them. He tells Peter to get behind him, Satan, accepting to die because he came to die. And in order to die, he has to go through the betrayal. It is some sort of preordained. And somebody has to accomplish that. Somebody has to betray him such that the prophecy of him coming to die, as according to the scriptures, has to be fulfilled. Somebody had to do that job. And that job brought salvation to man, to mankind, according to Christendom. You cannot have it both ways. Judas rather should be a hero. He should be hailed for what he did. He took a lot of courage to do that. If he did do it, there will be no death on the cross. It was prophesied that it had to be done. He had to go through that route. So if he didn't do it, there will be no death on the cross and there will be no salvation according to Christianity. So how can you accept the gift of salvation and condemn the man who facilitated the gift of salvation? How do you get it both ways? How do you get it both ways? If you are condemning Judas for facilitating the death of Jesus the Christ, which brought salvation to mankind, then you should reject salvation. You cannot have it both ways. It's not possible. And I don't necessarily believe in that. I'm just interpreting the text. Because I don't see how Jesus needed to be betrayed by someone. It was not necessary. Betrayed by a kiss. Judas didn't have to show who Jesus was. Jesus was the most popular of men. He was easily identifiable. Did the Jews need permission from Judas? Did the Jews need any assistance from, did the Romans, beg your pardon, need any assistance to get Jesus the Christ? They needed no assistance. Reputable historians like Josephus and Tacitus recount that tens of thousands of Jews were crucified. Crucifixion was the punishment, the common punishment to Jews at the time under Roman occupation. Jesus' case was not unique. Tens of thousands of Jews were crucified. There wasn't need for assistance from anyone, for any Jew, to be hung on a cross. But let's just assume that assistance was necessary. Why would you condemn Judas for helping facilitate salvation? If you condemn Judas for that, then you should reject salvation, because it is true Judas is brave, courageous decision that Jesus was handed over to the Romans and then to crucifixion. So if there is a destination for Judas for his heroism, it should be heaven. If there is any such physical place where souls go to and nothing else. The contrary, which will require that we reject salvation. We cannot have it both ways. That's our share for the day. Thanks for following. If you enjoy our content, you can like, share, comment, so that the word gets out. Some people could be transformed by this. Ciao.